everyone. Welcome to your weekly update. I am your host, Larry McCain with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Elite Mortgage. I hope you and your family are healthy and well. Thank you again for tuning in. It's a privilege and an honor to bring to you a wealth of knowledge in the real estate arena. As I mentioned before in many of my videos, I'm one of few here that happens to hold a license both in real estate and also in lending. So again, it's a privilege to bring you a wealth of knowledge in our industry. I'd like to first talk to you, of course, about the real estate market. Got some great charts to show you as well. In fact, if you've tuned in many times before, I always talk about one of our premier information scientists, if you will, Ryan Lundquist, who's an appraiser here in the area. In fact, I'm going to actually pull in his site so we can take a look at it here together. I highly encourage you, if you are in the market, if you're considering buying a home, selling a home, and have questions about the real estate market in general, find your way to Sacramento Appraisal Blog. Ryan has a plethora of information here available, and it'll be sure to inform you on many of things to come. So from here, I'm going to actually bring up two charts that I want to talk about. Of course, the market in general. So let me first start with the market recap chart, and I'll leave it up here, and I'll just pull out a couple of bullets that I want to review, but naturally you can take a look at everything there as well. I want to start with bullet number 3 and bullet number 4 kind of together. Monthly inventory is roughly 60% lower than last year. Of course, it's, as I've been saying for the past several weeks here, we are in a seller's market. We've been in a seller's market since about the mid time of COVID. I remember when COVID first hit, everything that was in contract fell out because folks didn't know what to expect. But once our government, came into play, laid some great undergirding with the real estate economy, real estate market, with forbearance and things of that nature. Then we had a really good idea of how to operate. And of course, with that, we've seen this kind of constriction in inventory because there's still other uncertainty out there. And with that, of course, half of all sales sell in 9 days or less. So I'm going to pause here actually and speak to that person who has been frustrated about finding the right home. First and foremost, as I've been saying every single week here, the key to getting your offer accepted is to partner with an agent who has experience, who is known in the market, because what you'll find, we represent a lot of sellers, and at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our sellers are happy, and that is making sure the deal on the other end is done properly with someone who can close the deal. And so when we know the agent, when we've done deals with the agent or know of the brokerage, know of the management, it makes us more comfortable in saying, okay, yeah, we'll work that offer. Naturally, we're going to look at every single offer fairly and evenly, but when it comes down to it, when we present them to the seller's going to ask us, Larry, what do you think? And, if I have 6 offers out there that I'm reviewing and I know 3 of the names and they do a lot of good business, I'll say, well, on the merits, the offers look great. These guys here do a lot of deals. And that's going to lead the seller to possibly pick one of those 3 offers. So again, align yourself with someone with experience that will help you. And with that, let me say this as well. I've been talking to a lot of agents, of course, who have placed offers on our listings, and unfortunately, they were not able to get their listings, their offers accepted. And, we've had some great conversations because we are all professionals and we're all in this together, trying to find the right combination of, offer and packages and things of that nature to get our offers accepted. And the one thing I always hear a lot is, Larry, I wish my buyer knew how difficult this market is. So I want to share with you unbiasedly, this market is very difficult. It's very difficult. If you're a professional that's telling you that the market's difficult and that's going to take offers above what you think it's going to be, I highly would recommend that you would harness that, listen intently, because, they are in tune to the market. It's, I wish it was a different market. We're going to be seeing some differences in the market, I believe, here once we get into the late summer, in the early fall, when herd immunity is out there. Of course, a lot of vaccinations are taking place. And again, that herd immunity starts to take place. Then I believe we're going to see a healthy mix of inventory. Folks waiting, of course, to put their house in the market, didn't want people in their homes because of COVID. They're going to put their homes in the market. Folks have been looking to move since 2020. We hear it all the time. They're going to put their homes on the market. And then you're going to have a natural movement because folks are going to be feeling just safe. So hang in there. The market will definitely get better. But again, if you are going to put your hat into the ring, make sure that you go in knowing it's going to be very aggressive. One last bullet I'll highlight on this chart here is close to the bottom. What you're going to see there naturally is on average, it takes 44.9% fewer days to sell this January. We're seeing that it's not taking nearly as long to sell because people know what they're looking for. All right, so the next chart I want you to take a look at is sales with multiple offers. And this is the entire Sacramento region, just like the previous chart was. And that includes Sacramento County, Placer, Yolo, and El Dorado County. If you look at January 1st, 2017, 40% or 4 out of every 10 offers, or 10 offers have multiple offers, or 10 homes have multiple offers, I should say. And of course, you hope that's the case to some degree, which shows that the product being presented is something that's sought after, not just one person, but a lot of people, naturally. Now, just move down 4 years to 2021, and we're almost to 7 out of every 10 homes are receiving multiple offers. And that just tells you, again, it shows you the data, how aggressive the market is today. Mainly it's because, folks can work remote. In times where people had to go to the office daily, naturally, it was a whole different scenario. But once COVID hit and there was an adjustment in how we lived our lives, in fact, I think that's going to be for the next decade. I was reading an article today that Boeing up in Washington is looking at unloading some of the large buildings and holdings that they have up there because, again, folks are working remote. We're seeing that in the Bay Area and San Francisco. Companies are moving, from California, relocating to Texas and other areas. And so Colorado, Arizona, and there's a lot of remote working that's taking place. And so as you can see with that, when you can work anywhere using video as we do here, then you can move to places like Sacramento, places like Arizona, places like Idaho, where we're seeing folks move to. As we've said before, Sacramento County, the Sacramento region is definitely number one, in the U.S. in terms of places to be because of the mix of living here in the area. So definitely understand how challenging the market is. And before I end on Ryan's chart, I got to tell you, I love this part right here, right where you see the video market update. Blame it on the Bay. Yes, Milli Vanilli has it right. As they used to say it back in the day, you can blame it on the rain, you can blame it on something, you can blame it on whatever. But yeah, the reality here in our region is you can blame it on the Bay. These guys are cashing out of, regular single family homes that because of the density and the demand, they can sell their homes for $1 million, $1.5 million and buy a home up here cash. And so they're driving a lot of that mix. So that's what we have going on right now. But of course, as I mentioned, we definitely going to see a change here as we start getting more towards herd immunity. All right, so let me go ahead and stop that share. All right, very good. Thank you, guys. All right, so now let's pivot to interest rates. And of course, I've been talking about interest rates for the last few months. Earlier on, late in 2020, early in 2021, we saw rates, pretty flat for the most part. There was some small disruption during the unfortunate unrest that we had on the 6th of January, and it actually lasted for a little while, but of course changed since that point. But I'll tell you today, we're actually starting to see some pressure on the rates. Rates are actually starting to go into, they're trending to a higher direction. I don't want to say it's high as in maybe a couple of years ago, but pricing is not as competitive as it was when we were starting to look at homes or look at borrowers back in October and November and even in December. So we're starting to see interest rates, average interest rates go up. Someone with great credit scores above 700, for the most part, very good debt to income ratio where, as I mentioned, in 2020, I was able to get something in the 2.6 range. We're seeing that same offering now at 2.8 range. And so we're seeing that natural movement. So for you folks out there who haven't refinanced, don't miss out. Do not miss out because everyone thinks that things are going to just revert back. I hear it all the time when I'm talking to clients. Oh yeah, the market's going to go down like it did in 2008. Oh yeah, we're just waiting for the market to go down. And then I start sharing, of course, with them some of the metrics that I've showed you with Ryan's charts and also some of the other metrics that we have. And you can see there's this there's this fight internally going. I wish they can see what's going on inside my head and the numbers that we know. But as you know, folks are going to be led by, whatever grips them. And so for you folks who have been waiting for that best price or for your score to get to that best point, I'll tell you right now, call someone, give me a call. Call me today, contact us today. This is the time to refinance. Do not wait. If you wait, you will lose. Please do not wait. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of some great rates. All right, so, and before I end, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to end on a personal note here. As we all know, the country has gone through quite a bit here in the last, maybe 20 years. I mean, there's so much that's happened. We're living through history, literally, in so many different ways. My wife and I, we talk about that all the time, Desert Storm, Desert Shield, 9/11. And of course, then we've got the coronavirus, and we've had this political unrest for the last 4 years or so, just a lot of infighting. And then today, of course, well, not just today, but this week, you see Texas is just under just unseasonable weather. I mean, it snows in Texas like that. I've been to Texas. I used to be in technology myself, and I used to fly to Texas a lot. And there were hailstorms, there were rainstorms, but nothing on the level that what we're seeing today. And so whether or not you are a student of science, there are some changes that are taking place. And so we really need to, focus in on that and see how we can bring some really good solutions to our community, to our planet, so that our children and our grandchildren can live in a better earth than what they're seeing today. So with that, I would love to ask all of you to just pray for Texas. I have friends and family and colleagues there, and some of the stories that I'm seeing on social media, it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. The news isn't reporting everything that's happening, and I don't want to say what I'm hearing as well. But most folks, with the natural mind, they think, okay, once this is over, once it thaws out, they'll be okay. Folks, it's not that simple. Pipes are going to be bursting. It's just going to be a mess everywhere. And then, we also have the luxury of owning an insurance brokerage, and so we have some history there. And there are going to be field offices set up throughout the entire state. People are going to be in dire need. And, when it's different, when one fire or one catastrophe happens to one home, then the insurance company can pour all their resources there. When the entire region's affected, it's a long line. And so, and we're dealing with COVID at the same time. So again, I just want to ask you guys, just continue to pray for Texas, continue to pray for everyone. Life is an echo. Whatever you put out comes back. It's karma. It's the universal law. And so when you're praying for folks in their time of need, it allows, the universe to work in your favor when you need help, because we all are in the same experience, and we're all going to need prayer, at some point. So please continue. No lines. We're all Americans. We're all citizens of humanity. So let's pray for each other. Let's lift up Texas. Let's lift up our neighbors and hope for a better tomorrow. And then, when it's our turn to stand up and to help out, whether it's through the local Red Cross or whatever entity that we can donate to, please, I ask you to participate. All right. Hey, thank you again for tuning in to your weekly update. I'm your host, Larry McCain with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services and Elite Mortgage. Again, I wish you all and your family healthy day, healthy week, healthy weekend. I'm praying for you all, and I wish you all the best. All the very best. All right, take care. Have a great day.